Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech World, and I have used the iPhone 14 Pro for the past month, and I have some things to say, since now that the reviews and the hype has all died down, I can really talk about how I feel about this phone. But I don't want it to be through the eyes of all like the MKBHDs and all these adults that are like the early 20s people. I want to do a review for more like the teenager. So this is a review for the teenager, through a teen's perspective. Let's get started. Does a teenager need the new iPhone 14? Probably not. Now, I do know a lot of people that have the iPhone 6S and 7 that aren't getting iOS 16, which when iOS 16 came out, everybody was so excited for it. It was kind of fun to see everybody talking about a lock screen. It was like the one time where I feel like everybody was interested in tech, because I was always interested in tech. When iOS 16 came out, I was like, oh my gosh, the new lock screen. I was like, I felt excited. It felt like this is my territory. Now, I do know a lot of people that have 6S, 7s, 10s. Do they need to upgrade? I don't know, it depends on your use case. I think if you have an iPhone 11 or newer, I think you're great as long as your battery life is good. I have a specific use case. I'll get to that in the video. Now, just for reference, in the month I've owned this phone, only one person recognized that I had the iPhone 14 Pro, and it was when we were at Chick-fil-A and we were just hanging out and eating. Now, obviously, I wasn't going around, hey, look at my brand new phone, so obviously nobody saw it, but just when I was just doing my everyday things, so only one person noticed in a whole month. So if you're one of those that needs a new iPhone just so you could be like, oh, I have the new iPhone, hey, look at my new iPhone, only one person noticed, just not showing it off, obviously, but I'm not that kind of weirdo. I honestly think more people noticed when I switched from the iPhone XR to the XS Max last year. I got 2 or 3 people in the first month saying, oh, you got a new phone? It's like, yeah, I did. But this year, yeah, only one. Don't even worry about that. I bought this phone for 3 reasons: battery life, longevity, and the camera. Let's start with the battery. Now, with the iPhone 14 series, that's the biggest complaint I've heard, is the battery is worse than last year. Now, obviously, I'm coming from a XS Max, so anything's going to be better than that. But besides for car crash detection not working or working too well, apparently, yeah, this is the biggest complaint that most people said. So I was kind of skeptical at first, but then I realized I got the iPhone 11's improvement of battery life, and then I got the 13's improvement with battery life. So it's all of that is going to be better than my iPhone XS Max. So it's obviously, it lasts me actually amazingly well. On the 4th day I used it, I went to this 21 Pilots concert, and so I used my normal phone throughout the day normally, so I don't usually use it from 6 to 2 because I have school, so I'll use it occasionally, texting, whatever. I also have no service at my school, so I'm not really scrolling YouTube, Instagram, any of that, so I'm not really on my phone to that. But then I was on my phone a little bit, then I got a charging CarPlay for 45 minutes when I drove to the concert, and then I recorded for 2.5 straight hours, and I still had 10% battery life. I did not kill it. That's the closest I've gotten to killing it. But yes, I did charge for 45 minutes, maybe, but just because of CarPlay, so I don't know how fast that's actually charging your phone. Some of you were also curious if the always on display affects anything. So my average day is about 6 hours, 4 hours on the phone, YouTube, doing all that, the other 2, Spotify, something like that, So what I did is I did always on display one day and then turned it off the other day, and it was a difference of 10%. But with me, I get I use 50% battery with those 6 hours, and so with the always on display, it was I had 40% battery left. So it was the difference between 50 and 40% battery. That wasn't enough for me to even care. I'm still gonna keep it off because I just think it's annoying, and I don't really care. I'm always having it in my pocket. The always on display on my watch is a different story. I actually like that because if I'm doing something, I can look. Do you think you'd even utilize that, an always on display? I don't know, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. I'm just gonna turn it off. The next thing is longevity. Last year with the iPhone 13, I wanted to buy it. I just didn't have the money. And you can guarantee if I bought the iPhone 13 last year, I would not upgrade it to the iPhone 14. I'm gonna keep this iPhone 14 until 2030, hopefully. If it dies out with 2 years before, I'm not gonna be mad. Obviously, I spent $1,500 on this phone. I want it to last. And obviously, with this clip here, I'm gonna show you in a second, I could probably make it last to 2030. It's you guys think it's crazy, but actually just watch this and it's not that crazy.
Will it get the latest updates?
Of course. This is another big thing Android users would love about owning an iPhone. Your new iPhone comes with the latest operating system right out of the box, and it can still get updates straight from Apple, even as it gets older. For example, iOS 15 is still compatible with iPhone 6S, which came out nearly 6 years before.
Using that logic, obviously the iPhone 14 Pro could last me to 2028, 2029, 2030, so one of those years, obviously. If the A9 chip can do that, the A16 chip can do that, which the A16 chip is okay. It's like whatever, I launched an app, I hadn't noticed anything faster. The A12 chip and the A16 chip, I hadn't noticed a difference. I mean, I don't have the phone anymore, so it's just like, I mean, maybe if I had them side by side, if I open messages, they're faster, but I literally haven't noticed, like, nothing's faster about them. The A16 chip's just as fast as the A12 chip to me. I haven't noticed anything. Except for maybe when I boot up my phone, it boots up faster. But that's literally it. Now with this last category, it is a lot of just my use case, and it's about the camera. I needed a good camera. So I actually bought 1 terabyte of storage. So a lot of you, even if you were buying the iPhone 14, won't be buying 1 terabyte of storage, because yeah, that was $1,500, like $1,600 after tax. So yes, it was a lot. But I think I can use it, and I think it could last me the years that I was talking about, my longevity part. But I do a lot more filming than just on YouTube. I like making movies. I like doing all these cool stuff. YouTube is just like, I like doing YouTube, but I also like making movies. I used a lot of my GoPro like this past year, especially since my XS Max had very little storage. So I just do my GoPro, put it on my computer, yada yada. But now I'm doing my phone and can put it in my computer, which obviously USB 2.0 won't matter because this computer only can support that as well. So that doesn't matter. I don't care about USB-C, but but on my next iPhone, I bet it needs to be there on my next iPhone, okay? Thank you, Apple. Other camera, the ultra wide is amazing. I never had an ultra wide before. Night mode is also cool. I can take pictures in the dark, cool. 3x zoom is cool. ProRAW is cool. ProRes is cool. Cinematic mode is amazing. I'm filming that right now with the iPhone 14 Pro. It is amazing. I've yet to find a use case for action mode, but I'm glad it's there because I'm sure I'll find something to use it for, and action mode will be good because I love the idea of this stabilization. And since I'm so amazing with the camera and everything, here are a couple photos I've taken in just the last month that are pretty cool, I think. So unless any of those things apply to you, well, and a lot of those things also come on like the iPhone 11 and or iPhone 12s. Like, it's like not that like crazy. Like a lot of the things I upgraded for weren't even just on the iPhone 14 alone. I got iPhone 11's upgrades, 12 upgrade, 13's upgrade, and then the 14's upgrade. I got so many upgrades in one. So well, if a couple of those matter to you, just look into the phone. Like, oh, ultra wide matters to you, get the iPhone 11. But if ProRes matters to you, iPhone 12's like pretty cheap too. So if you're not in if none of those matter to you, will that really matter for Snapchat and BeReal? Because I know that's a lot of what kids are doing these days, Snapchat and BeReal. So if any of those apply to those, not really. So is that a use case you're going to use it for? Maybe, maybe not. Smaller things include 120 hertz, which I did notice at first in my unboxing video. I'm pretty sure I mentioned I noticed it. But what was something weird is when I first set up my phone, wrapped up my video, I went on and I turned off 120 hertz just to see, and it looked so choppy. But then I brought my iPhone XS and it did not look choppy at 60 frames per second. So for some reason, the iPhone XS is 60 frames per second was better than the iPhone 14's 16 frames per second. I don't know, maybe it's just because 120 hertz is just it's like its default or whatever. So it's like they don't prioritize the 60 frames per second like on the iPhone XS. I don't know, there's something weird that I noticed. And I'm surprised that I even got this far in the video without mentioning it. The dynamic island. I don't really care. It's like, well, cool, it's there. I mean, occasionally I've tapped it just to go into the app, but I've never pressed and done something. I've tried to find use cases. Like, I'll set random timers for no reason just to make it look cool. But no, it's kind of boring. So, it's not worth an upgrade for that. No. But hey, and then guess what? With all the iPhone 15s next year, you're getting Dynamic Island. So if you like it, then maybe just save up and just spend $800 next year instead of $1,000 this year. I think it's a good idea. One of the best things about this phone has got to be MagSafe. I've never had a wireless charger before, but when I got the new phone, I decided I'd try out MagSafe, and it's actually really good. I have one right next to my bed, charges conveniently overnight, and it just connects with the magnets easily, but I don't know why it didn't work there. And it is so good that I've just totally replaced my wallet with the MagSafe wallet now. I don't have another bulky wallet, and it helps with the grip on the phone since my phone case hasn't arrived yet. The wallet already has gotten quite a few scuffs already in the first month, which is kind of surprising. But other than that, the phone, like, durability-wise is great. I love the grip. I don't mind the flat sides. And the matte finish on the back is also amazing. The best iPhones you can buy right now is going to be the iPhone 11 at $400, the iPhone 12 mini at like $450, the iPhone 13 mini at the price Apple sells it, and even the regular iPhone 13 over the 14 Pro. And also, I think 11 Pros and 13 Pros are also pretty great deals. All the other phones are whatever. I don't know SEs. Thank you very much. Those are terrible these days. So unless your battery's like horrible, I think if you have an iPhone 11 or newer, you're good to go. But if you can stick with iPhone 10 and you're good, then that's great for you. That is good for you that you can live with an old phone. I'm hoping one day the iPhone 14 Pro becomes an old phone, and everyone's like, oh, you're still using a 14 Pro? I'm like, iPhone 18 right here. Overall, the iPhone 14 Pro is a great phone, but it's definitely not worth all the hype. The great things about this phone are just because they've been on previous iPhones before, and that's what makes an iPhone an iPhone. This is the best of the best. If you want 120 hertz, you have to pay the full price, even though there's discontinued phones with 120 hertz. If you want ProRes and ProRAW, you have to get the Pro, but there's refurbished, or used you can go get. So you don't need to get the newest just because it has all the features. So yeah, it's not worth the hype. It's a great phone though, but it's all up to you. It's your use case. This was my use case. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and peace out.